Good evening, I'm Isaiah Jacob with your sports update. For possibly the final time in 2025, there are two MLB playoff games on tap tonight. First, the Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners should be underway in the next few minutes. They meet in Game 5 of the ALCS. Later on, the defending champion Los Angeles Dodgers could complete a sweep of the top-seeded Milwaukee Brewers with a win in Game 4 of the NLCS. How about the Buckeyes? Tomorrow at 3:30, they travel to Madison to take on Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers. Elsewhere in college football action, some top matchups at noon. 10th-ranked LSU travels to 17th-ranked Vanderbilt at 3:30. 5th-ranked Ole Miss travels to 9th-ranked Georgia at 7:30. 6th-ranked Alabama hosts number 11 Tennessee. This update was sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling Systems, together to serve you better. Schedule today at thewaterworks.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side, going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a football Friday. I am Brandon Beam, hanging out tonight with my guy Isaiah behind the glass. He's going to be here all evening. We got high school football coming at you at 6:30. At 7 o'clock, we'll get you down to Hamilton Township. They host Bloom Carroll, 7-1 Hamilton Township, 6-2 Bloom Carroll. Should be a good one. He's going to be here all night. We're only going to be here for half an hour. Isaiah, how's your Friday going so far? I know you already put in a full shift. Now you're here spending your lovely Friday evening with us. What's happening?
I'm excited tonight. I mean, we're less than 24 hours away from the Buckeyes kicking off tomorrow, so that makes for a good Friday night.
It does. How does it make for your Friday morning when you woke up to find out that Joe Flacco did what he did last night? Did that make you feel good or bad or indifferent? Because I know that some Cleveland media folk were losing their minds today.
Yeah, I was listening to Kenny Carmen up in Cleveland, and it was almost, and he talked about this too, it was almost like justifying of like, it really is chaotic up there. And last night when Joe Flacco just went off, it really just solidified everything that we were thinking probably was happening in Cleveland, which was a bunch of nonsense, and that was just certified last night.
Yeah, for sure it was. And they threw the ball to number 5, and then they threw the ball to number 1, and Joe Flacco didn't even have an idea of what he was calling. But you know what? Doesn't matter. The Bengals paid those guys in the offseason, and what do you know? They're very good at football, and they got things done. We literally said last night, me, you, and Murph, well, all three of us took the Steelers to win, and I said congrats on the Bengals for getting a big win. They did that last night. Hopefully everybody else is having a good Friday, too. Again, Quickie Murph's going to join us live on the road from Madison here around 6:17, 6:15-ish. A little bit later on, we'll talk some Buckeyes with him. Let's hear from Ryan Day, shall we? I know that a big talking point this week has been the run game. The run game. Where are the explosives coming from? We haven't really seen it. Longest run of the season, I believe. I don't know, have any stats to back this up, but it was Bo Jackson against OU. I think that was the longest run that we've seen so far by an Ohio State football player. Here was Ryan Day a little bit earlier in the week talking about hitting a home run, and it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, yeah.
I know it would.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It would be nice to hit a long run. We've been very efficient, but to your point, it's something that would be nice, and we have to keep working on that. And I think when you see the way that we're set up, there are the runs, and then there's like the perimeter. And the way that we're set up, that kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, there's no rule saying that we can't break one of these runs for a big one.
I think Patrick and I were talking about this last night. Yeah, anytime, you lose Chip Kelly and your offensive staff and you go to Brian Hartline, there's going to be some growing pains, especially in the run game. Now, if you ask me, I've got full confidence in this Ohio State pass game. I think Julian Sayin has been nothing but terrific so far, first half of the season. He can have a little bit more on his plate. I know that Ryan Day said that after the first game in Texas, and I think week by week, brick by brick, you've kind of seen the evolution so far of Julian Sayin. I'm just wondering to myself when this Ohio State offense is going to explode. I know he had the Grambling game. It was 70-0. I know that this offense is putting up points. You are back on the road tomorrow against a team who's pretty good defensively. Their offense is terrible. All right. I think Hunter Simmons is going to start tomorrow. He has been atrocious. Like, their offense has been really bad. Luke Fickell's had some really bad luck with quarterback play. I'm just wondering when we are going to see this Ohio State rushing attack in full force. And it might just be by committee. Like, I know that CJ last week outcarried Bo, and a lot of that was because of the ankle injury and James Peoples, and we'll see what happens tomorrow when we get closer to game time and the availability report. But, yeah, it's the game of odds, right? Like, you would think that Ohio State would crack a long one and hit a home run for a touchdown. That's not the way that football works, though. Offensive line play has been good. I think the running back play has been pretty solid so far. You just need that to marry into one special play, and maybe it happens tomorrow. Wisconsin, good run defense, though.
Yeah, their front seven is like, a lot of people think that Wisconsin, because we're expected to trample over them, their front seven's like the best part of their defense.
Yeah.
And they talked about that on Wednesday. Some of the players, especially the offensive linemen, were talking about how they do have a stout run D. And so I feel like everyone's kind of waiting for the run game to just burst out tomorrow. And I don't know if it's the game that's going to happen. And I was thinking about it last night as you guys were talking, like when do we decide that maybe the run game isn't going to be there this year?
It might not be. It may not be there. And I know we got spoiled last year with Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, like both those guys having a nice little start to their NFL careers. You haven't seen any of these guys before really that much in a Buckeye uniform. Bo Jackson being a true freshman, and then James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson coming over in the transfer portal. Don't really have any idea of what they are as backs. Yeah, 2,000-yard running backs last year. It's not going to look anything like that. But to your point, Isaiah, I think it's a good one that it may just not be. I think if you get to 135, 140 yards like per game, if that's what you average during an entire season, I think the way that this Ohio State pass attack is, and with the ability to toss it to the tight ends, with the ability to get it to Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, all these other guys that you have on the perimeter, I don't think you need to go out and rush for 225, 250 yards a game. You just don't need to. Now, I know the weather's going to get bad. It's going to be beautiful up in Madison tomorrow. High of 75, sunshine, low wind. I think a lot of Ohio State fans' questions become when there is a wind game, when there is a rain game, if there is a snow game, and that pass attack is limited, and Julian Sand is playing in the elements, can you run it 40 times for 280 yards? I don't know. We're just going to have to find out, I guess. And that's a terrible answer. But until your backs are up against the wall and until you find out, I don't know if we're going to get that answer. And I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow against Wisconsin. Here was Ryan Day earlier in the week talking about where they can be better from his perspective in the run game.
I think the focus needs to be is, one, how are the runs fitting up? And then two, what are the yards after contact? Or once you engage somebody, making somebody miss. And that's been an emphasis point here for a few weeks now. I thought we did a nice job in the Minnesota game, just okay last week. But then again, there was a lot of, whether it was short yardage or down in the red zone, there was some heavier runs in there, just a lot of bodies. So a little bit played into, where we were on the field. But that's it, focusing on those things at practice, working on running through contact, working on open field tackling, close quarters running. Those are the things that, we're going to continue to focus on to try to improve that area. And I think the more these guys play, Bo and specifically James, because I think CJ has a feel for running behind his pads, but he can still be better in these areas as well, breaking tackles. But the more they see it and the more we show it to them on film, again, this is kind of what we're talking about. These are areas we all can get better at.
Yeah, it sounds more of a challenge to the running backs from Ryan Day's perspective than it does to the offensive line, because I think the offensive line pass protection, they've been terrific so far this season. I know they've had a couple of missed blocks on some run plays. Tight ends have as well. You're working in Nate Roberts, who's doing a great job as a freshman. Max Clare's coming along in his own right is blocking, and Jeremiah Smith told you that last week. Like, yeah, when he got here, he just was not ready to do anything. I said, follow me. We'll make you be great, whether you want to come or not. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a challenge to the running backs. Again, Wisconsin's got a pretty good rush defense. I don't know if that happens tomorrow, but that didn't sound like a challenge to the offensive line that they need to move people out of the way. That sounded for sure like, hey, Bo, CJ, you've been there before. James, let's get it going here. Let's shed some tackles. And if you see daylight, make a man miss in the open field. I feel like that's kind of what they've been missing.
Yeah, and I feel like as the season goes on, too, we're going to see Julian Sand at some point this season start to get maybe a little bit more involved. That's one thing that we haven't really talked a lot about is how Will Howard had a huge impact on the run game last year. Just because
whether he took it or not,
exactly.
He had a threat.
Like the defensive end had to play him, or the outside linebacker, whatever the read was, they had to respect that he might pull it. And there were even times late in the playoffs that we were running QB power.
Yeah.
And he was getting first downs that way.
Big dude.
And those
Beefy.
things, too, in the red zone, which we've talked about some of the red zone struggles we've had, Will Howard was a threat in the red zone. Like, having a running quarterback in the red zone makes a huge difference. I think that in the first half of the season, Ryan Day's like Julian's saying, let's just get you feeling comfortable.
Get you acclimated.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's not the biggest guy. We really don't need him running around a ton. But as we get closer to when these games are really going to start mattering, he's going to become a part in it. Like, he has to. It's going to make our red zone offense so much better, and it's going to make them have to respect him as a runner.
Patrick Murphy, he's going to join us live from Madison. We'll preview all things Buckeyes and Badgers with him. Coming up next, it's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app, free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Hey Buckeyes, I'm John Chabot with Surest, a digital-first health plan designed to make healthcare simple and affordable right here in Ohio. At Surest, we believe healthy small businesses are vital to our economy. That's why we're ready to give your small business a VIP opportunity through our small business sweepstakes. Winners will be recognized on the sideline at an Ohio State home football game. To enter, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Surest. That's SUREST. Surest, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas, with Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our low prices. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Did you know Austin and Berm host a show at Roosters? And did you know that Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? Tickets, sideline passes, trips to a postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, where can you get a full suite of business banking services served up by well-trained, caring employees with unquestionable integrity? It's right here at Heartland. Relationships matter. I'm Scott McComb. Come over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Rare banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Here's a look at your Friday night forecast as we are tracking mostly cloudy skies and temperatures cooling down to the low 50s here for the overnight hours. Before Saturday, we're tracking mostly sunny skies and temperatures warming up nicely into the low 80s here across central Ohio. Could be talking about some record highs here for Saturday afternoon. But then big changes arriving here for Sunday as we track showers, storms, and windy conditions here as we see highs only in the 60s on your Sunday. And the cooler weather is likely to continue as we head into next week. That's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Before we get to Murph, just want to let you know that we here on the Buckeye Show, sponsored by our great friends over at CareSource and United Healthcare. Patrick is currently in Madison, Wisconsin.
Drink up, Slappy. It's time for Beers and Buckeyes with Patrick Murphy.
So we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Murph, how's the land of New Glarus and Culver's treating you so far on this fine Friday?
I'm staring at a New Glarus bottle as we speak. I got to the hotel. Steve and I were on different flights, and I got to the hotel. The hotel was under his name. So I sat in the lobby and did some work, and I went over to the little shop that they have over by the front desk, and I was just going to get a Powerade, and then I was like, oh, they have beer here, and they had Spotted Cow, so I had one.
All right, very good. I'm glad about that. Pat, what's the weather looking like tomorrow? Because we've got some discourse in the chat saying it's going to be windy, not windy. What's a live update right now for Madison, and can you predict what the weather is going to be looking like tomorrow for game time at 2:30 local time?
Well, as I look out the window here from our hotel, it is apparently a little windy based on the tree movement, but partly cloudy, I would say. You can see some sun and still here in the more northern part of the country, but it was really nice. Actually, we got off the plane. I landed a little afternoon. I was wearing like a light hoodie, and it was warm, so it'll obviously be a little cooler. It does seem like there might be a good chance of rain tomorrow when that hits. I've seen different things depending on what weather you look like. But, yeah, I think the Buckeyes, and I think Ryan talked about it this week, they have prepared in case there is rain, which I think will be an interesting thing to watch. Mm-hmm. We have not seen Julian play in that yet. Obviously a California kid, not to say that he can't do it. I'm sure he's played in rain before, but not as often as somebody maybe growing up in Ohio. But just something to monitor.
Yeah, I agree with that, Pat. And Isaiah and I were just talking about that in comparison, like with the Ohio State run game. And when you do get a maybe 30 to 40 mile an hour wind game, or you do get a rain game or snow game where maybe the pass attack is going to be neutered a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get that tomorrow up in Wisconsin, but how much confidence do you have in the Ohio State rushing attack right now that it could carry the offense in a game like that if the elements aren't in maybe Julian or a passing attack's favor?
Not a ton, okay. If I'm being honest, just because we haven't seen it. I mean,
positive Pat on a Friday night.
Yeah. Well, you and I talked about it yesterday. Yeah. Like, this rushing attack just hasn't been good enough. And I do think it's been a focus. Maybe we'll see some improvements, but I really think it'll be after this game when they have a week off to really dial in on it next week, where you hopefully find, some things that can work better. It's not, I mean, as much as we've talked about it, like, it's not been bad either. It's just hasn't reached our expectations. So, like, if they need to run the ball, it will look less appealing. Think about some of the first half, even against Illinois last week, when they're kind of running more than people expected. Like, it's not like they're getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage every time. Now, they have been a few times, but, if you're picking up 3 or 4 yards, you're probably going to get a first down, right? If you can do that pretty regularly. So I think they ended, last week, 2.9 yards per carry, if you include Sayen's sack and a couple of the Nate Roberts 1-yard run, Julian Sayen's run Jeremiah Smith's run that didn't get very much. I think the running backs were like 3.1. So if you absolutely had to do it and you're averaging 3.1 yards a carry, that's almost a first down if you hit that. So you should be pretty close. And so if you're being optimistic, I think they could do it. It just wouldn't be as exciting as we hoped.
He is Patrick Murphy at Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He is live in Madison with us. Of course, he's going to the game at Camp Randall tomorrow. 10 o'clock coverage for us begins here on the Fan tomorrow morning. Pat, what does this defense continue to do against a Wisconsin offense that I think it is being very kind to call them pedestrian this season? What are you anticipating from the Silver Bullets tomorrow?
Well, I think that is the thing. If they do have to play kind of a sloppy game where you can't really throw the ball, you can at least lean on that defense, and we've seen Ohio State do that successfully this season. And this Wisconsin offense hasn't been particularly great this year.
No, they haven't. They've been bad. Yeah.
Injuries, quarterback issues. You look at, I saw just a little bit ago reports out there that Hunter Simmons is going to start again. And last week against Iowa, he completed 38.1% of his passes and threw 2 interceptions. So that was against Iowa's defense. The Buckeyes
good defense.
Coming off. Yeah, good defense, not Ohio State defense. I think, coming off of a game with 3 turnovers last week for the Buckeyes, you're probably hoping for something similar this week. But, look, if the defense has to win a game for Ohio State because it's wet, because it's windy, whatever it may be, I think they have no problem putting that on them and just doing what you can offensively. But I think they'll still find ways to have success offensively. But the defense can definitely do it.
You've only been there for a few hours, Pat, in Madison. Any vibe check or heat check around what people are saying about Luke Fickell and maybe the security of his job out there with Wisconsin right now?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, we came from the airport to the hotel, so we haven't
gone out yet? That's later?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're going to go to dinner here in a little while and then see what happens. But I will say, in talking to our guys that cover Wisconsin this week, back and forth, I think there are a lot of people here in this program that want Luke Fickell to do well, and they believe in Luke Fickell. It just has not worked for one reason or another. So the question is, how long do you allow this to go on? I do think that when they hired Luke Fickell and he was going to make the change in the offense and kind of try and bring them into the spread and, those type of things instead of the power formations that we're used to, they knew it was going to take some time. Now, did they think here in year 3 you'd be 2-4 halfway through the season? I doubt it, and that this offense would look so bad. But I think there's also an understanding of the injuries, especially at the quarterback position. Now, before you called, I was looking at our Wisconsin message board at 24/7 Sports and their predictions. They are not in favor of the Badgers, most of them.
No.
And there were a couple of fire Luke Fickell comments there. So fan base, I would say, is ready to move on. I'm just not sure what those inside the program that actually make those decisions feel like right now.
If there is a roadmap maybe to victory or a close game for Wisconsin that could, salvage what is most likely a lost season for them, either in a close loss or even a more improbable a win for them tomorrow, Pat, what does it look like? What is a roadmap to a Wisconsin victory even look like in your mind?
Yeah, I think it's got to start with the Buckeyes, probably overlooking this game and looking forward to an off week next week. Turnovers, like we're talking about for the Buckeyes, I think, you'd have to have Julian stay in or the running backs turn the ball over a couple times. And then probably that weather that we're talking about. If Ohio State's offense just can't get anything going, at least the Badgers have a chance, right? And, if you can get a couple things to go your way, maybe the defense doesn't play its A game, maybe there's a chance there, and we know Ohio State's offense, they're not trying to be full power right now, right?
Yeah.
You get up 20-3 at Illinois last week, you don't turn it on and score 20 more in the second half. So I think that you would need a lot of the mistakes that we haven't seen from this Buckeye team to creep up, and then probably some luck to go your way as well.
Hey, before we get you out of here, any idea if Lorenzo and or Edric Houston are going to be available tomorrow?
I would think so, especially Lorenzo. I did see he was on the plane on the pictures they tweeted out, so looking positive.
All right, buddy, have a fantastic evening in Madison. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and enjoy those spotted cows, which I know you'll probably have plenty of this evening and tomorrow, all right?
Yes, definitely tonight. We'll see what time we get done tomorrow.
Yeah, but, I'm sure you'll find some time, Pat. Madison is a fantastic beverage city, okay?
You're not wrong about that.
All right, goodbye.
All right, see ya.
There he goes. Patrick Murphy of Bucknuts with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Before we get you out of here, get you to some high school football, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Ohio State is favored by 25.5 points tomorrow in their game against Wisconsin. What do you think will be the result of the game? Buckeyes win and cover? Buckeyes win and don't cover? Badgers win. I was reading an 11 Warriors piece where they talk to a Wisconsin. They do this every week. They talk to someone who covers the other team. And I believe that the Wisconsin beat writer who was asked the question by 11 Warriors to predict the score had Ohio State winning 56-7.
Whoa.
That's that would be a monster win. Again, I think they're pretty low on the Badgers right now. Hopefully, I'll go with that guy's result.
I like his idea.
56-7, I think, would be good. Everybody have an awesome Friday night. We'll talk to you tomorrow after the game. High school football is up next on The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. I mean, it was, we had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, the knowledge accumulated and shared, with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Together, we will make yours possible for every child everywhere. Learn more.